All I'm saying is my head smaller than this globe? Did you hear that? Can you hear me now? Did you hear me? Can you hear me, camera guy? Okay, he can hear me.
From Jackson, Michigan, home of more lawyers than you can shake a stick at, it's the Daily Fix with Sue Fracker.
So glad that you're down here in our wonderful community where we work with the police to do our best to keep it safe. And here's another one of our heroes.
Hi, welcome to the Daily Fix. I'm Sue Fracker, and believe it or not, I'm sitting here with one of Jackson's very good friends, a crime fighter extraordinaire, Capt Jackson.
How are you today?
All right, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much.
Great to have you on.
Well, it's great to be on.
Yeah, it's good to be on, isn't it?
Yes.
Better
yes.
than being off. Yeah.
Well, depends on the weather.
I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a little chilly up here, but.
Oh, you ought to be outside, you know, like I'll be out later, you know, patrolling the streets of Jackson.
That's right. Now, how long have you been patrolling the streets of Jackson?
A little over 6 years.
Okay. And what was your inspiration for getting started as Capt Jackson?
Well, I'd moved here a little before that, and one thing, being from Detroit, one thing I noticed, there didn't seem to be any beat cops. Mm-hmm. And another thing was, I noticed that the police had a bad reputation because, and I could understand this in a small town, it seemed like 99% of the times when somebody would see a police car, somebody was going to get arrested. Mm-hmm. So therefore the police seemed to have a bad name. Where I grew up, it was not unusual to go into a restaurant, for example, and here is, say, a police officer off duty having a drink or dinner with an ex-felon who just got out of prison, whom he may have put in there for 5 or 6 years, but they grew up together and they were friends even though they were on the opposite sides of the law. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to bridge the gap between the citizen and the police in this community.
But why Capt Jackson? How did that come up? The name, the uniform?
Well, that started one day. I called the Bart Holly show, the afternoon show then. He was on...
I'm sorry, what show was that?
That was the Bart
that
Holly
other
show.
Yeah, that Bart show.
The afternoon show. Anyway, I called up one day and I said, how are you today? You know, it's great to be here. I'm here to, you know, save the world.
Really?
And in fact, in the video that I gave you, you'll notice the actual first time that I called in is on there.
Oh, okay.
And anyway, what it was, he was just taken away. He was just totally aghast. He's like, okay. Mm-hmm. And a couple days later, people had called in, asked about it, so I became sort of a semi-regular on his program, calling a few times a week. It gave me the opportunity to get out in the streets and, you know, sort of make an example to other people. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, the flamboyant uniform, if you've ever seen the Guardian Angels, they wear bright, you know, they've got the cap and, you know, their little jacket or whatever it is, you know, and many times other neighborhood watch groups will also have a certain t-shirt or a certain coat or a certain cap so people can recognize them. Anyway, I chose the downtown district, pretty much the Loop or the Downtown Development Authority area, and I just started patrolling. And
in this costume. I'm sorry, uniform.
It's a uniform.
Yes.
I mean, just think about it. The next time you get
I know.
pulled over by
I've been really
policeman,
practicing.
say,
It's a uniform.
how are you today, officer?
Yes.
Nice costume.
Nice costume. Yes.
But
Yes,
anyway,
it's a uniform. Yes.
Yes. And
because you know people think you think you're a superhero. I mean, is that what you're going for?
No, no, and I have never called myself a superhero. Only a crime fighter. The fact that the uniform looks similar Coincidence, you know, it's, well, what do you do, you know, it's, but anyway, I started patrolling downtown. I went to different businesses and introduced myself and said, you know, I'm your local crime fighter.
You show up in your uniform and they're like, you're like, I'm Captain Jackson. And
many people had heard me on the radio. At first they thought it was a joke started by the radio station, so they pretty much went along with it. And I kind of went along with that too. At first, you know, it's like I was asked questions like, you know, can you leap tall buildings?
Sure.
No, I'm afraid of heights. You know, what color is your uniform? I don't know, I'm colorblind. You know, and I came up with certain handicaps.
I see.
Well, think about it.
To kind of take the expectations down a little. Yeah, I can see that.
If Schwarzenegger dressed up in a uniform like me and came to town, I am the superhero nator, and I will stop all crime. He'd be in jail. I mean, and a lot of people related to what I was doing as far as with the handicaps, and the uniform changed. First, the cape was just a piece of felt. Had a silly-looking mask and cowl and whatnot.
So you've sort of evolved with the look.
And it was amazing in the first 4 or 5 months how people liked what myself and at the time my daughter were doing.
And what was her, I don't want to say character, but her...
well, she's Crime Fighter Girl.
Crime Fighter Girl, yes. Okay.
And she joined me. We'd go to different events. It's like tonight, or when I'm usually on patrol downtown, I've got my regular patrol route where I'll check doors to make sure people lock them. About once a month I'll set off an alarm. The other night, well, if that happens, and the business owners appreciate it since most of them leave out the back door. What I do is I call 911 or the local police. I've got a direct line to them, and I'll say, how are you today? It's Captain Jackson. I'm down here to this business, and set off the alarm, and I wait for the police to get there. If I see anything suspicious or out of the ordinary, I've got my direct line to the police department. I'll call them up.
So are you considered a member of the force, or how does that work?
I get a great amount of respect from them. Many times, you know, they're a bit understaffed, and if they see me downtown, they'll pull up, how are you, Captain? And how late you working tonight? I'll say, oh, I'll be here till 10:30. Great. And, you know, that frees them up so they can go on to more important type criminal activities other than just driving around looking for something.
So you've been on patrol 6 years downtown? And maybe you can tell me a little bit about some of the people that you've helped or some of the things you've seen. Is there any specific stories or examples other than checking the doors and the alarms and stuff?
There's so many. Crime Fighter Girl, when she first started, she was volunteering at the senior center, which used to be downtown. She did that for a few years.
How old's Crime Fighter Girl now?
Now she is 15.
Oh, okay.
Started
15.
when she was
all right.
9.
Well, teenager, all right.
And she loves what she does. We've all got our pretty much assigned duties. You know, if somebody's coming in town, they'll see us, they'll ask us directions, or if they have something to report, many times they'll tell us. Summer before last, the big problem downtown was panhandlers. And, you know, I'd have people, business owners, come up to me, Captain Jackson, I got to tell you about this guy. He's panhandling. He's about this tall, looks like this. And I look around, where is he? Oh, that was 3 days ago. Okay, what did the police say when you called them? Oh, I didn't want to bother them. That's what they're there for. But anyway, I became kind of an annoyance to the police department. You know, it's my job. And what I was told by one officer was, look, you know, the prosecuting attorney's office won't do anything. They think they're harmless. And they tell us to take this person to the homeless shelter or to take them to the hospital if they're intoxicated or something. and give them the little speech. Well, that didn't work. Behind Daryl's downtown, for example, it's a dark parking lot, and many a times one of the young ladies will be getting off work late at night. She'll be in her car, doors locked, of course. I hear somebody coming knocking on the door with her hand out. And I have found on more than one occasion somebody's to-go meal, half of it sitting, in an alley. So anyway, in that particular situation, I had gone to the prosecuting attorney's office and I said, hey, you got to do something. Oh, they're harmless. Well, I gave them stories and they were like, wow, really?
So you're kind of like a sounding board for businesses too. I mean, you can kind of feel like they can tell you if there's problems downtown, and you can maybe talk to the police and help out, be kind of a liaison.
Exactly, and a lot of times people do not want to get really involved in it, but as you say, a sounding board, I know just about everybody, and I know who to go to and how to address these things.
And you're probably pretty easy to spot. I mean, if anybody has anything to report, I mean, you're the guy that's down there. You're very recognizable. You're standing out.
I'm very proud of what we have done, not just with our patrols, which are 4 or 5 evenings a week on average.
It's a lot of work.
It is. A few months ago, Chief Irv Portis had declared the downtown loop area, my district, the safest, most crime-free in the city of Jackson.
Captain Jackson, Captain Jackson, is a purple costume, and nobody knows his name.
Hey, we have some questions from you from viewers, but I also know that you wanted to talk a little bit about what you're doing with G1, the global network. So maybe talk a little bit about that, and then we'll go into some questions.
As I mentioned, my organization has helped a lot with the promotion of Jackson. There are events. A lot of people were unaware that, for example, downtown in the summer, there's more things to do in this community than the entire city of Detroit per capita.
I know there's more golf courses.
Yes.
For a fact.
Oh, yes, yes. I don't go much because the Cape,
Well, I thought we would go this summer, you and me.
I'd
What do you
love
think?
to.
All right, we'll work it out.
But anyway, I've had the opportunity to work with a new media, which is hitting, the computers and whatnot. Everybody's heard about cable, One Cable for telephone, television, computer, and Global One Network Broadcasting Company out of Detroit. I've been involved with them for a couple of years. I work with their local affiliate, and a couple of the shows that I produce, such as Creep Theater and the Miss Edwina Show, we broadcast there. And soon everybody will be seeing on the streets a free magazine, which is basically tells a little about the different programming that they are offering.
And so you go online to watch these programs? Is
Yes.
that what you're, okay.
And with the new technology, it's phenomenal. Once you have like the television watching program that I've got on my computer, you won't watch that thing in the corner ever again.
Wow.
But anyway, I just wanted to mention that, and it's been an honor to do that, to work with these people as well with the city.
So what's the address that people type in to go there?
www.g1nbc, and it's a numeral 1, .tv. And if you want to see local broadcasting, you just click affiliates, click Jackson, Michigan, and 24 hours a day there's something, sometimes with me on it, up there.
All right. Well, that's cool. So you're famous on the internet now.
Well,
Have you ever Googled yourself just to see how many links? Do you know what that means?
I thought that wasn't this kind of show.
No, that would be Yahoo. But no,
Google?
yeah, you got to get online and go to google.com and type in your name.
A search engine.
Yeah, search to see. Yeah, I mean, it might be more far-reaching than you think. I Google myself at least once a day.
I guess it is that
Let's
kind of
move
show. Yes.
All right. Well, hey, we do have viewer emails.
Yes.
Because these people are online already, so they're already interested to see what's going on. There's a fellow from Ann Arbor who actually was in a comedy class with me. His name's Marty. He wants to know if you're related to Action Jackson.
Get a life. All right. I don't like comic books. You know, I don't read them. People walk up to me, they say, "Oh, Batman."
Yeah.
And I can tell what high school they graduated from. It says Captain Jackson Crime Fighter. It doesn't say Batman. All
So
right.
you're no relation to Action Jackson or
no,
Batman?
no.
Or,
No,
because
no,
he also
no.
wanted to know if you could fly or if you were more like Batman.
Well, actually, who is it? Crime Fighter girl flies.
She does?
Yes, she's
Wow.
taking flying lessons.
That's amazing. I
In fact,
didn't know that.
in yes, the video, you see her flying an airplane.
I have to check that out.
Yes.
It's really the only way to travel, I think.
Yes.
Much faster. All right, that was from Marty. And here's one from, name withheld. It's an anonymous writer-inner.
I'm a mominous.
I'm anonymous.
It's kind of like a little aluminum.
Wants to know if you are still the nightmare of any criminal's dreams.
I am the nightmare of your dreams. I am the criminal arrest warrant for your criminal activity. I am Captain Jackson, crime fighter on patrol. Yes, I am.
Oh, good answer. Okay, just checking.
I'd say that's a yes.
I'd go with yes there. Okay. Then there's Jane, who is a regular viewer of our program. She wants to know why you carry mace, handcuffs, a rope, and a pack containing a cell phone and other gadgets. Do you think you're really a crime fighter, or are you just a novelty?
I look pretty silly carrying it around in a purse. Actually, I've used everything but the handcuffs. I am a crime fighter. I have the respect of the police. I've used the mace before, basically on a couple dogs. There have been times recently, the Walmart or the Walgreens murder.
Oh, yeah.
I was downtown
Really?
on patrol, and there was a lot of people, a lot of kids, especially at the Michigan Theater, and an officer stopped by, and he mentioned that they believe he's in that area.
Oh, my, okay.
And, you know, I'm not afraid to get involved. Technically, we don't. Technically, we just stand there, call the police, but we followed people. And it's the other night there was a guy downtown. He was so drunk, and it's so funny the way he was yelling at cars out in the middle of the street. Now, somebody like that, if they'd gotten violent, yes, I would take them down. If they'd gone to assault a citizen. In fact, 4 years ago, the Queen of Hearts and I had just come downtown, or arrived downtown. And there was a gentleman and 4 older teenagers who were about ready to duke it out, and we kind of separated them at the schoolhouse, you know, that topless place.
I'm not familiar with it, no.
Well, you know, it was there was a protest down there, and the Queen of Hearts and I arrived, and there was a few city officers, and the first thing I asked one of them was, "Who do we arrest in case there was any problem?"
So you have the necessary tools to do the job that you
not that
have
hopefully
set out to do.
like a duly deputized officer, we will never have to use them.
Okay, good enough. Here's another one from a viewer named Lisa. She wants to know if you are afraid to roam the streets of downtown Jackson yourself. She's a little concerned herself, but when she sees you there, she feels safer. But she wonders if there's any fear in you.
No.
For being
I'm
out
from
there.
Detroit. I've been shot. I've been knifed. I've been beaten to within an inch of my life. This town's a piece of cake compared to that place.
So no big deal. I always like to close every interview also with something that we call preferences, which is basically a deep psychological profile of our guests. And we ask some questions, and the questions contain choices. And you make choices, and then you leave, and then we talk about them.
Oh, one of these behind my back
Kind
things.
of.
The
Like, can you believe
newspaper
he
was
said
doing
that? Oh my God, I never would have thought he
yeah.
would have said that. So This is just to get to know you just a little bit better
Yes.
before we go. All
Yes.
right. So here's preferences. All right. First question: small dogs or big dogs?
Neither. I mean, if I wanted dog poop in the yard, I'd get a dog.
So you don't like dogs?
Oh, I love dogs. I just don't want one.
Okay.
I've had dogs.
You love other people's dogs.
Yeah, you know, I don't go barefoot in their yard, though.
Okay. So it doesn't matter what size they are.
I've had a few dogs, and, you know, I really, at this point in my life, do not have the time to spend the proper amount of time. A dog really needs.
If you could get like a crime-fighting dog, would you?
I still wouldn't be able to walk barefoot in my yard.
Because my mom's really good at knitting, and she'd probably knitted a little outfit if you wanted it. I'm just saying. Remember that, Mom. Okay. Peanut M&Ms or plain?
Peanut.
They're better, aren't they?
No, I get those free. I have to pay for the other ones.
It's about money. Okay,
Yeah.
good to know. And last but not least, Hulk Hogan or the Incredible Hulk?
You know, I like the big-time professional wrestlers in the old days.
Do ya?
Remember Haystack Calhoun? When I was just in junior high school, I got to wrestle with him.
That's amazing.
He's 750 pounds, and boy, that was fun.
Wow. So that's what you were like as a high school student.
I did like to wrestle, and
So which one, Hulk Hogan or Incredible Hulk?
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, you don't like the big green guy?
Comic books.
Comic books. Yeah, it always comes back to that, doesn't
yeah,
it?
it does, you know.
All right. Well, it's great to have you on, Capt Jackson.
Well,
Thanks so
thank you
much.
very
It was a
much.
pleasure.
Have
Captain
a good
Jackson.
day.